Good morning and welcome back to the channel. You find me today in Galway and the weather looks reasonable. Today we're going on the trip that forms the basis of our reason for coming here today to Ireland. We're off to Cong. It's a small village a little bit north of Galway. I've got a bus ticket booked and we're going up there because Jeff's family come from there on his father's side. He's never been there. He's going to come across hopefully sometime and visit, but for now I'm going to go and have a look so I can show him what it's like, and we're going to go today. So let's go catch a bus. Today's video is sponsored by Heart of the Tribe Gallery, where art meets community. More about that later. There is the wonderful number 33 where I have been staying, right across the road there. So I just went in here to the inspector's office and found out that my bus leaves from stand number 5, which is just over there. So what we can do now is go and get some coffee because it's only 11 o'clock. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a Supermax over there. Ireland's take on McDonald's, only 10 times better. I'm off for my breakfast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there it is in all its glory. The breakfast Mac. Look, McDonald's and everybody else, that's a real egg, not some reconstituted garbage like you serve. And look, it comes with a latte, and for about £5. It's brilliant. I'm going to eat this. Well, that was truly excellent, containing, as it did, a real egg, real sausages and real bacon. Absolutely delicious. I'll tell you what, I would swap these for McDonald's any day of the week. So it just got better. This place has also got an ice cream parlour, and that is mint ice cream. This one's for you, Jeff. Okay, so I better go and catch the bus. We're going to go to Cong today. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, I hit the record button this time. So this is Padraig here, and over here is Abby, who I've just met, who's from San Francisco, all the way over there in the United States of America. So, well, this is Padraig. We don't know who he is. If you do know who he is, please put something in the description below so I'm not an ignorant person. Now, over there behind me is the bus stop where I've got to catch the bus today, where we're going to Cong to see where Jeff's family came from. But for now, for me, Padraig and Abby, bye-bye. Just after I finish that piece to camera, Abby very kindly corrected me. I believe it's Padraig, not Padraig. My bad, sorry. Well, here we are on the 456, about to set off on our journey to Cong. Well, we've managed to catch the 422, which is going to take us down into Cong. It's still a beautiful day here in Galway. We're about to leave Galway soon. We drove across a quite boggy area to get here. It was very flat, very featureless. But now as we're coming across to the west coast, you can clearly see that the terrain is getting much more rugged. I can see hills in the far distance over there. I don't know if this camera will pick them up, but over there were some higher hills. And we continue on to Cong. One thing I do have to say, and say it loud and proud, is that the minute you land on Irish soil, the level of friendliness goes like that. It's just incredible. People here are so pleasant to talk to. You can stop and have a conversation with a perfect stranger. In fact, quite often a perfect stranger will stop and have a conversation with you. It's definitely a friendlier place to be than back on the mainland. That's what you want to call it. This is great. I'm enjoying this. Two things I've noticed. There's two accents in Ireland, it seems to me. Irish and American. I'm sure Jeff would feel quite at home here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cong. Cong is situated about 20 miles north of Galway, where I'm currently staying. And there's two major reasons why people come here. The first one, which most people will have heard of, is The Quiet Man, a 1952 film made starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. He basically plays a boxer who's accidentally killed somebody in the ring, and he comes here looking for a new life where he could forget the boxing ring and just live a quiet life. However, he meets Maureen O'Hara and things don't quite go according to plan. But anyway, you can go and watch the film. It's available out there. Many people come here to see where it was shot, and I add myself to that list. However, it is not the important reason. It is not the number one reason. It is not why I made this my first trip abroad in nearly 2 years. That reason is because Cong is where Jeff's father's family originated from. They left for America during the potato famine, as did many other poor people back in those days. So I've come here to Cong today because I want to show Jeff where he comes from.
Hello everybody, it's Jeff again. I would like to tell you a little story. My father his family was from Ireland. And about 6 or 7 years ago, I did genetic testing, and they told me the area in Ireland where my dad's family came from. It was right there by Galway in Ireland, a little town called Cong. And Gabriel has gone there to visit, and I'm very jealous. And this is Gabriel, tracing the footsteps of my ancestors in Cong, Ireland.
Well, Jeff, imagine putting one of your trucks down the road like this, look. Sadly, it appears that everything closes round here till the summer starts. I've not found anything open yet. This is the Quiet Man Museum. I don't think we're going to get to see in there today. Never mind. Onwards and upwards. So this is a statue to John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, the stars of the film The Quiet Man. Well, it's certainly quiet here, ladies and gentlemen. My bus out isn't until about 6 o'clock this evening. It is currently about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the only thing I found open behind me when that lorry's moved away is the pharmacy. Nothing else appears to be open here at all. So this is going to be a day of looking around closed things, I guess. Oh well. A real telephone box. Almost has a phone. Look at that. I wonder when that was last used. Great phone box though. Look at that. We have a road here that appears to go between what I think is a church over there and an abbey to our right. We're going to go and have a look at this. The monastery of Cong here was founded in the early 17th century, but was destroyed by fire in the early 12th century. Turlough O'Connor, who was High King of Ireland, refounded the abbey around 1135, and his son Rory constructed the new buildings. The community adopted the Augustinian rule several years later. Soon after, in 1203, the Norman knight William de Burgo attacked the town, and again, the monastery had to be rebuilt. Very little remains of the abbey. the present church, and possibly also the fragmentary cloister where the monks once worked and prayed, belong to a rebuilding of the early 13th century. The north doorway of the church here and the elaborate doorways that open into the cloister from the east range of the monastery might predate the destruction by William de Burgo, but they're not sure. The doorway with the two fine windows on either side of it belongs to the chapter house, where the monastery's business was conducted, and a chapter of the rule read every day. That must have been exciting. This tree here, until the recent storms, stood upright. Sadly, no longer. Indeed, the path that I wanted to take, which goes in that direction, would have given us a view of the castle that was seen in the film. As you can see, the trail is closed due to storm damage. Sure is beautiful here though. I need to find out what that is over there. Now, as I mentioned, I wanted to take you to see the castle, but sadly we can't get down there this way. If I zoom in, hopefully you can see in the distance there is the castle. Fish was a staple diet of the medieval monastery. Think Glastonbury and the fish house out at Mere. And this small building, probably built around the 15th or 16th century, is believed to have been used by the monks of Cong to make the task of catching fish a little easier. It's built on a platform of stones over a small arch which allows water from the river to flow underneath the floor. A trapdoor in the floor may have been used for a net, and monks could sit by the small fireplace in cold weather waiting for their catch. It is said that a line was connected from the fishing house to the bell in the monastery kitchen to let the cook know fresh fish was available. I'd be interested if anybody could tell me what this stone is. It has like a pattern of worms all over it. I don't know what it is. If anyone could tell me, I'd be interested to know. This is Cong Woods. It was part of the old Ashford estate known by the Guinness family until 1939. And so here, by the river, below the abbey, we have Reverend Playfair's house. If you remember the film, you remember they were walking down the road and John's character asked Maureen's character if she can ride a bike. And they run down and they grab the fair vicar's and his wife's bikes and ride off on them. Naughty, naughty, naughty. But there you go. If you remember the film, you'll remember the house, because apparently it hasn't changed a jot. And here is the famous Pat Cohen Bar, which is unchanged since the days of the film, other than sadly being closed today. Apparently the best food in town comes from there, but not when it's shut. Never mind, there is a place over the road that's open, because I've got another 4 hours to kill here yet. pint of Guinness, smoked fish chowder. It doesn't get much better than this. I'll see you after. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You find me here in Cong, waiting for the last bus out that leaves at about 6:30, which is in a few minutes time. Hopefully it turns up and I'm not left stranded here. God knows what I'll do if I am. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll see you on the bus, hopefully.